Welcome back, coin collectors and history enthusiasts. Today, we are diving into one of the most fascinating and valuable coins out there, the 1961 D Lincoln penny. You might think it's just another ordinary coin from the early 1960s, but trust me, there's so much more to this penny than meets the eye. In fact, this coin could be worth more than you ever imagined. But is it worth $1 million? Stick with me to find out the current market value, what makes this coin so special, and how you can potentially strike gold with just a small, unassuming penny. Before we jump into the value and market trends, let's talk a little about the history of the 1961 D Lincoln penny. The Lincoln penny, also known as the 1-cent coin, was introduced in 1909 to celebrate Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. It features the iconic portrait of Lincoln on the obverse and the famous Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, which has been in use since 1959. The 1961 D coin was minted in Denver, as indicated by the D mint mark. Now, the 1961 D penny was part of the regular mintage for that year. It's made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, like other pennies minted during this time. The mintage numbers were high. More than 1.1 billion coins were struck in Denver alone, so at first glance, it doesn't seem like it would be anything out of the ordinary. So, why is the 1961 D penny so special? Well, the value of this coin doesn't come from just its age or mint mark, but rather from its rarity in certain conditions. In fact, it's one of those coins that can be worth thousands, and in some rare cases, millions of dollars. The key to unlocking the real value of the 1961 D penny lies in its condition. Coins that are in pristine, uncirculated condition are the ones that fetch high prices. The 1961 D Lincoln penny is particularly sought after when it's graded as a mint state, specifically MS65 or higher. These coins exhibit almost no signs of wear and tear and retain their original luster and shine. Now let's talk numbers. What's the current market value of a 1961 D Lincoln penny? As of today, a typical 1961 D penny in circulated condition is worth about 2 to 3 cents, basically, face value or just a little bit more due to its age. However, the real magic happens when these coins are in mint condition. Coins graded in the mint state 63 range can sell for around $5 to $10. But if you manage to get your hands on one that's graded MS65, the value skyrockets to anywhere from $50 to $200. And it doesn't stop there. A 1961 D penny that's been graded at MS67 could easily fetch over $1,000 in auctions. But here's where it gets even more interesting. The real jackpot comes from finding a 1961 D Lincoln penny with an error, whether it's a die crack, double die, or any other minting flaw. Coins with these errors are rare, and collectors will pay top dollar for them. So, can a 1961 D Lincoln penny actually be worth millions? While $1 million price tag might sound far-fetched, the answer is yes, but it's an extreme case. A few rare era coins and specimens with unique characteristics have sold for 6 figures in the past, and the right buyer could be willing to pay millions for a truly extraordinary example. But I must stress, this is an extremely rare occurrence. A 1961 D penny with a double die error could fetch upwards of $500,000 or more, and in the right auction environment, it could exceed even that. So while you're not likely to find $1 million penny just lying around, the potential is there if you come across a rare, high-quality, or error coin. Now let's get to the part you've all been waiting for. How can you identify a valuable 1961 D penny in your collection? First, inspect the mint mark. Make sure the D is clearly visible and well-formed. Next, check for any unusual features or errors. If you spot any double die or die cracks, you may have a treasure on your hands. Also, always pay attention to the overall condition. Coins in mint state with little to no wear are the ones that can bring in the big bucks. In conclusion, while your average 1961 D penny isn't going to make you a millionaire, there's still a great deal of potential for collectors. A high-grade, well-preserved coin can fetch hundreds, or even thousands, of dollars. And if you're lucky enough to find one with a rare error or minting flaw, you could be looking at a coin worth well into the 6 figures, maybe even millions in the right market. So, the next time you go through your change, remember to check your pennies. You never know what hidden treasures might be just a coin flip away. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to stay updated on all things coin related. Keep collecting, and keep searching, because you might just find your own little piece of history. Title: The 1964 Lincoln Penny, a hidden treasure worth $1 million? Introduction: Midnight to 1 o'clock, open with upbeat music, close-up of a shiny 1964 Lincoln Penny, followed by a wide shot of the host in a well-lit studio, surrounded by coins. 1964 Lincoln Penny, one of the most sought-after pennies in the world today. But what makes this coin so special, and why could it be worth millions? Stick around as we explore its history, rarity, and why you need to check your change, because this penny could be worth more than you ever imagined. The story of the 1964 Lincoln Penny starts with one of the most iconic American coins, the Lincoln Penny. Introduced in 1909 to commemorate Abraham Lincoln's centennial birth anniversary, the Lincoln Penny has gone through various designs over the years. Fast forward to 1964, and we find a coin that is very similar to the classic design, but one thing sets this year apart: the mint mark D, indicating it was produced at the Denver Mint. The 1964 penny was part of a significant year in American history, as it came right after the assassination of President John F. Kennedy, a time of national mourning and reflection. It was also the last year before major design changes in the 1960s, like the introduction of the Lincoln Memorial Reverse, which debuted in 1959. But in 1964, the design remained unchanged, making this penny part of a very specific and valuable era. So, what makes the 1964 penny so special? Well, there's a lot to consider. First off, the sheer number of 1964 pennies produced. Over 2.8 billion of them were made. That's a lot of pennies. But the key is that not all 1964 pennies are created equal. While most of these coins are worth just their face value, 1 cent, there are certain characteristics that could turn one of these pennies into a major investment. Now, here's the thing. While most 1964 pennies are still circulating, a select few have something rare about them, a die error or imperfections in the minting process. This leads us into what we call error coins. But what kind of error are we looking for here? Not all 1964 pennies are worth big bucks, but some rare ones are highly prized. The most famous error with this penny is the double die obverse. This happens when the die that strikes the coin makes an impression more than once, leading to visible doubling of certain parts of the design, such as the date and the motto E pluribus unum. These coins are very rare, and if you happen to find one, you could be holding a small fortune in your hands. There are also cases where the mint mark, D, was repunched or misaligned, which also adds significant value to the coin. If you can spot an error like this, your 1964 penny could potentially be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. This is why collectors are willing to pay top dollar for a 1964 with the right imperfections. So, let's talk numbers. What is the actual market value of the 1964 Lincoln Penny today? Well, depending on its condition, rarity, and any potential errors, the prices can vary significantly. A standard 1964 penny in average condition might be worth about 2 to 5 cents, nothing to write home about, right? But here's where things get interesting. If you're lucky enough to find a 1964 penny with the coveted double die obverse, these coins can fetch anywhere from $300 to $1,000 or more. That's a far cry from its original 1 cent value, right? Some extremely well-preserved examples, especially those graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC, can command even higher prices, especially if the error is striking and easy to spot. For example, a top-tier 1964 double die obverse in MS65 or higher condition has been known to sell for upwards of $10,000 at auction. That's right, a penny that was once worth just 1 cent could be worth tens of thousands of dollars today. But what about the $1 million penny? Is there any chance a 1964D could ever be worth $1 million? Well, the truth is, anything's possible in the world of rare coins, but the chances of a 1964D Lincoln penny hitting that $1 million mark are slim, at least with the regular issues. However, certain one-of-a-kind varieties or historically significant era coins can sometimes fetch astronomical prices. If a perfect specimen with a rare and significant era were to surface, it's not out of the realm of possibility that it could break records and set new benchmarks. The most expensive coins in the world, like the 1933 Double Eagle, have sold for millions, but those are true rarities. For the 1964D Lincoln penny, we're more likely to see values in the thousands of dollars rather than the millions, unless an exceptional error is discovered. Now you're probably wondering, how can I tell if my 1964D penny is worth something? It all starts with inspecting the coin closely. Use a magnifying glass or a loupe to check for errors. Here's what to look for. Inspect the date and the inscriptions around Abraham Lincoln for signs of doubling. Look closely at the mint mark D to see if it appears doubled or misplaced. Sometimes the coin isn't struck properly, and this can significantly increase its value. If your coin is in excellent condition with little wear, it could also be valuable, even without errors. If you find something that seems off, it might be time to have the coin professionally graded by a service like PCGS or NGC. A professional grade can significantly increase its value. To sum it all up, while the 1964D Lincoln penny is not the rarest or most valuable penny out there, certain varieties with errors can be worth hundreds to thousands of dollars. And if you're lucky enough to find a top-tier example with a rare error, you could be looking at an incredible windfall. But of course, finding such a penny requires a bit of luck, some sharp eyes, and the right knowledge to spot these hidden treasures. So, the next time you're going through your change, don't just toss those pennies aside. You might be holding a potential gold mine in your hand. And if you want to see more amazing coin finds, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give us a thumbs up. We've got plenty more rare coins and valuable finds coming your way. 1967 Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny. But this isn't just any penny, this is a rare, no mint mark penny that could be worth thousands, even millions of dollars. But is it really worth that much? Let's take a closer look. The year 1967 may seem like just another year in the 1960s, but for coin collectors, it's a fascinating year that produced some rare finds, particularly when it comes to the Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny. Now, most pennies from 1967 are not worth much beyond their face value of 1 cent. However, some 1967 pennies were struck without a mint mark, making them a significant anomaly in the world of numismatics. But what does that mean for their value today? First, let's talk about mint marks. Normally, U.S. coins have a mint mark that indicates where they were produced. For pennies from 1967, coins minted in Philadelphia should have no mint mark, while those from Denver would have a D mint mark, and those from San Francisco would have an S. However, some pennies were struck in Philadelphia but didn't receive a mint mark at all. This is where things get interesting. The 1967 no mint mark Lincoln penny stands out because of this striking error. It's a coin that was minted at the Philadelphia Mint, but was not marked with the traditional mint mark. This error was likely caused by a mistake during the coin production process. So, why does this matter for collectors? Coins with minting errors are highly sought after by collectors, and the 1967 no mint mark penny is one such example. When errors like this occur, they create scarcity, and scarcity is key in the world of coin collecting. Coins that were supposed to have a mint mark but were missing it are much rarer, and rarity often leads to higher values in the market. Now, let's get to the burning question: how much is the 1967 no mint mark penny actually worth? Well, the market value can vary depending on several factors like condition, demand, and whether the coin is graded by professional organizations like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS. Coins that are in excellent condition, especially those that are graded as MS65 or higher, can command prices in the hundreds or even thousands of dollars. In contrast, A penny that's heavily worn may only be worth a couple of bucks. However, some of the best examples, those in pristine condition, can be worth well over $1,000. In rare cases, if you find a perfectly preserved, uncirculated 1967 no-mint mark penny, it could potentially fetch a price close to $10,000 at auction. That's right, $10,000. But that's not all. Depending on its rarity and market trends, some could even fetch over $100,000 or more. But of course, these are exceptional coins, and finding one in that condition is incredibly rare. So, the question on everyone's mind, could a 1967 no-mint mark Lincoln penny really be worth $1 million? The answer is complicated. While it's unlikely that a standard 1967 no-mint mark penny would reach the $1 million mark, it's not entirely out of the realm of possibility, especially if an example were to come with historical significance or is linked to an important coin collection. Rare coins with errors or unique features have sold for millions in the past, like the famous 1933 Double Eagle gold coin. While the 1967 no-mint mark penny is unlikely to break records in the same way, there's always a chance that a high-profile collector might pay an astronomical price for one. Now that we know how valuable the 1967 no-mint mark Lincoln penny can be, how can you identify one in your collection? Here are some tips to help you spot a potential treasure. The absence of a mint mark on a penny that was supposed to have one is a red flag that it might be a 1967 no-mint mark penny. Coins that are in uncirculated or nearly uncirculated condition are worth significantly more. Check for scratches, wear, or discoloration. If you think you have a valuable coin, get it graded by a professional. This can ensure you get the most accurate estimate of its value. Once you've found your 1967 no-mint mark penny, you might be wondering how to sell it. There are several ways to go about it. You can try selling through online auction platforms like eBay, or you could take it to a reputable coin dealer. However, if you think your penny could be worth thousands or even millions, consider contacting a professional numismatist who specializes in rare coins. They can help you get it into the right hands for the best price. So, while the 1967 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny may not always be worth $1 million, it's certainly a coin that can fetch a pretty penny if you're lucky enough to find one in excellent condition. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or just getting started, keep your eyes peeled for those rare treasures. You never know what you might have hidden in your change jar. 1968 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny, a coin that, for most of us, is probably considered just another penny. But what if I told you it could be worth millions of dollars? Yes, you heard that right. Stay tuned to find out why this particular coin has collectors on the edge of their seats. Before we get into why the 1968 Lincoln penny could be worth so much, let's start with some basic information. The Abraham Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it features a bust of President Lincoln on the obverse, front side, and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, back side. Zoom in on a typical 1968 penny with a mint mark. Typically, most pennies are marked with a mint mark indicating where they were produced: D4 Denver, S4 San Francisco, and P4 Philadelphia. But the 1968 penny we're focusing on today doesn't have any mint mark at all. This is where things start to get interesting. So, why is the 1968 penny without a mint mark so special? To understand this, we have to go back in time. The minting of coins is a very precise process, and every year, there's the possibility of rare errors. For the 1968 Lincoln penny, the absence of a mint mark on some pennies produced at the Philadelphia Mint was not intentional. Cut to black and white footage of the U.S. Mint in operation during the late 1960s. In 1968, the Philadelphia Mint began producing pennies without the usual P mint mark. These coins were originally intended to have a mint mark, just like the ones from the Denver and San Francisco mints. However, for reasons unknown, some of these pennies came off the press with no mint mark at all. So, how rare is this coin really? Well, while it's hard to know the exact number of unmarked 1968 pennies, estimates suggest that fewer than 10% of the pennies produced that year came without a mint mark. That's a significant number for a coin that is considered a mint error. Most people don't even realize they have a rare coin like this, and that's what makes it even more valuable in today's market. Now the big question: how much is the 1968 no mint mark penny worth? On the surface, it might seem like just another penny, but due to its rarity, the value can vary drastically. Cut to a screen showing examples of auction sales for 1968 no mint mark pennies. On average, a 1968 no mint mark penny can fetch anywhere from $1,000 to $10,000 in the right market conditions. But in some cases, especially when the coin is in mint condition or graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC, the value can go up significantly. Some collectors have even reported that in rare auctions, 1968 no mint mark pennies have reached over $50,000. In fact, depending on the coin's condition, whether it's uncirculated, has a specific grading score, or has other unique features, some have been sold for over $100,000 at auction. And here's the big kicker: there are whispers in the coin world that a perfectly preserved, well-graded 1968 no mint mark penny could potentially be worth millions of dollars in the future. As demand for rare coins continues to grow, and collectors realize how few of these coins are out there, its market value could skyrocket. So, what exactly makes this coin so valuable? There are several factors that play a role in determining the price of any rare coin. For the 1968 no mint mark penny, it's all about scarcity, demand, and condition. Show examples of different grades of coins and how they impact the price. The condition of the coin is a huge factor. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being perfect. Coins that are in mint state, especially those that are free from scratches, wear, or discoloration, tend to fetch the highest prices. Coins that are graded 65 and higher can see significant increases in value. The rarity is another major factor. There are a limited number of these unmarked pennies in circulation, and not all of them have survived in good condition, so the demand from collectors continues to grow. Finally, it's the history and intrigue surrounding the coin that increases its worth. People are fascinated by the idea that a simple mistake at the mint could lead to such a valuable treasure. Now you might be wondering, how can I tell if I have a 1968 no mint mark penny? Well, checking your pennies is simple. Start by inspecting the obverse of the coin. Look at the area under Lincoln's neck, where the mint mark would normally appear. If you see no mint mark, then you may just have a rare coin on your hands. Be sure to check the coin's condition as well. A well-preserved penny, especially one with minimal wear and tear, will be worth more than one that's heavily scratched or corroded. So, there you have it. The 1968 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny might just be the hidden gem you've been looking for. Whether it's worth thousands or, in rare cases, millions, it's one of those coins that can make a huge difference in a collector's portfolio. Remember, coin collecting is about more than just money. It's about history, discovery, and preserving the past. If you've enjoyed this deep dive into the 1968 no mint mark penny, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell for more exciting coin content. And of course, let me know in the comments if you've ever come across one of these rare coins yourself. Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're a coin enthusiast or just curious about the hidden treasures in your pocket change, you've come to the right place. Today, we're diving into the world of rare pennies and specifically focusing on the 1978 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny. This coin has captured the attention of collectors, and you might be surprised by how valuable it can be. So, let's break down everything you need to know about the current market value and what makes this penny worth a potential fortune. The 1978 Abraham Lincoln penny with no mint mark was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. The absence of a mint mark means that the coin originated from Philadelphia, where mint marks were not used on pennies at the time. Despite the penny being common in circulation, certain factors make some of these coins extremely valuable. To understand why, let's dive into the details. First, let's talk about the condition of the coin. As with any collectible coin, the better the condition, the higher the value. Collectors look for coins that are in pristine condition, known as mint state. These coins are uncirculated and have no signs of wear or damage. Coins in mint state can command significantly higher prices at auction. For example, a 1978 no-mint mark penny graded MS-65 or higher by a professional grading service can be worth anywhere from hundreds to thousands of dollars. But why would a 1978 penny sell for millions? Well, it all comes down to rarity and errors. Error coins are a huge draw for collectors. Errors such as double dies, off-center strikes, or planchet issues can make a coin extremely rare and desirable. The more unique the error, the higher the demand. Some error pennies from 1978 have sold for staggering amounts at auctions, and collectors are always on the lookout for these valuable variations. Next, let's discuss what to look for in your 1978 penny. Start by examining your coin under good lighting and, if possible, with a magnifying glass. Check for any doubling on the letters or numbers, which is known as a double die error. Inspect the edges to see if the coin was struck off-center or has any unusual features. Even minor errors can add considerable value to the penny. Now, let's get into some real numbers. As of today, a regular 1978 no-mint mark Lincoln penny in average circulated condition is generally worth its face value of 1 cent. However, uncirculated examples in mint state can sell for between $5 and $30 or more, depending on their grade. Coins that have been professionally graded as MS-67 or higher can fetch prices of several $100s. The real excitement comes with rare error coins, which have sold for thousands or even millions of dollars at prestigious auctions. For instance, a high-grade 1978 penny with a prominent error could be worth a small fortune to the right collector. You might be wondering how to get your penny evaluated. If you believe you have a high-grade or error coin, it's best to have it graded by a reputable coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. Professional grading provides an expert opinion on the condition of the coin and can greatly increase its market value. So, what does this mean for you? If you happen to have a 1978 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, take a close look. It could be worth more than you think. Even if it's not in perfect condition or doesn't have an error, it's still a piece of American history. But who knows? You might just be holding on to a penny worth millions. 1984 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, and what makes it special enough to be worth a significant amount in today's coin market. In some cases, we're talking about thousands, or even millions of dollars. Stay tuned to learn all about the coin's unique features, its current market value, and what makes it a dream find for collectors around the world. So, let's start with some background information. The 1984 Lincoln penny was minted at the Philadelphia Mint, which is why it has no mint mark. Remember, coins minted in Philadelphia during that time generally didn't feature a mint mark. Now, while many 1984 pennies are circulating in everyday change, only a few have characteristics that make them extremely valuable. It's these rare pennies we'll be discussing today. What makes some of these 1984 pennies worth so much? Well, the answer lies in the famous double die error. This error is the result of a mistake during the minting process, where a misalignment causes doubling on certain design elements of the coin. On the 1984 penny, the doubling is most noticeable on Abraham Lincoln's ear, which appears as if he has an extra or enlarged earlobe. This variety is famously known among collectors as the 1984 doubled ear penny. Now, when we talk about value, it's crucial to consider the coin's condition and grade. Coins in poor or average condition might fetch a few dollars or more, depending on the level of the error. However, uncirculated or high-grade examples with a visible and pronounced double-ear error are where the big money comes in. Coins graded at MS-65 or higher by grading services like PCGS or NGC can be extremely valuable. In fact, some of these coins have been sold at auctions for thousands of dollars, with exceptionally rare and high-grade examples even being valued at hundreds of thousands. So, let's get into some real numbers and market analysis. The most expensive 1984 double-ear penny ever sold fetched tens of thousands of dollars. However, estimates place the value of an MS-65 or higher coin in the range of several thousand to even tens of thousands, depending on the demand and collector interest at the time. Imagine finding one of these coins and discovering it could be worth a life-changing amount. It's this excitement that keeps coin collectors constantly on the hunt. If you have a 1984 Lincoln penny and you're curious about its potential worth, here's what to look for. First, grab a magnifying glass or a loupe. Inspect Abraham Lincoln's ear closely for any signs of doubling. The doubling should be quite noticeable and distinct. If you're unsure, you can compare it to images of known era coins. If you believe you have a doubled ear variety, getting it graded and authenticated by a professional service is a crucial next step. Once your coin is authenticated and graded, you'll have a clearer idea of its value. The rarity and desirability of your coin will depend on factors like the visibility of the error, the overall condition of the coin, and how well it has been preserved. High-grade examples are highly sought after, and having one could open up opportunities to sell at coin auctions or to serious collectors. Now, let's touch on why this coin, among other era coins, continues to intrigue numismatists. The double die error is considered one of the most visually striking and recognizable errors, and collectors are willing to pay top dollar to own a piece of this minting mishap. It represents a part of minting history that stands out, making these coins extremely special. So, to sum it up, the 1984 no-mint mark Lincoln penny with the doubled ear error can be incredibly valuable. If you're a collector, it's worth keeping an eye out for this fascinating coin. And if you're lucky enough to own one, you might just have a hidden treasure in your collection. Keep hunting, keep collecting, and always stay curious about the coins you come across. 1988 Abraham Lincoln penny with no mint mark that could be worth an astonishing amount of money. Yes, you heard that right. Some 1988 pennies have sold for thousands, and even potentially up to $1 million under certain circumstances. If you have a jar of pennies lying around, this video could make you want to check each and every one of them. First, let's talk about what we mean by the term no mint mark. If you look at a regular penny, you'll usually find a letter just below the ear. This indicates where the penny was minted. For example, a D indicates the Denver Mint and an S refers to the San Francisco Mint. But if there's no mint mark at all, it means the coin was minted in Philadelphia. While this is quite common, there are specific details that can make a 1988 no mint mark penny very valuable. So, what makes the 1988 no mint mark penny so special? It comes down to a rare and unique error that occurred during the minting process. One of the most valuable errors to watch out for is the double die error. This happens when the coin's design is impressed twice by accident, leading to a doubling effect, particularly visible on letters or numbers. Collectors prize these errors because they are rare and often hard to spot without a magnifying glass or coin microscope. Doubling on the 1988 penny is most noticeable on the words Liberty and In God We Trust, as well as the date. Keep in mind that only a professional coin grading expert can confirm whether your penny has a genuine double die error. But there's another big factor that could make your 1988 penny worth even more, and that's its condition. The value of any coin is greatly influenced by its grade, which is assessed based on factors like wear and luster. Pennies in uncirculated or mint state condition are the most sought after. These coins have sharp details, minimal wear, and can shine like they just came off the production line. If you have a pristine 1988 penny with a rare error like the double die, you could be looking at a small fortune. Now, let's discuss the numbers. How much can you actually get for a rare 1988 no mint mark Lincoln penny? For a penny in circulated condition without any significant errors, it's likely only worth its face value of 1 cent. But if you have an uncirculated or high-grade version with a notable error, the price can skyrocket. Recent auctions have seen some of these error coins sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. And in truly exceptional cases, collectors have speculated that a perfect specimen could fetch well over $1 million if sold to the right buyer or at the right auction. Of course, these values depend heavily on demand among collectors and the coin's uniqueness. Coin collecting is a popular and competitive hobby, and it's driven by the thrill of discovering rare finds. So if you do come across a 1988 Lincoln penny in excellent condition or with a potential error, it could be a life-changing moment. But remember, before rushing to sell or spend your penny, it's essential to get it authenticated and graded by a reputable coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. This will give your coin a verified grade and can significantly boost its value at auction or in private sales. To sum up, the 1988 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny is one of those coins you don't want to overlook. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, it pays to be familiar with the potential value of the coins you come across. So go ahead, take a look at those pennies you have stashed away, and see if you might have a hidden treasure in your collection. 1994 Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny with no mint mark, a coin that has caught the attention of collectors due to its potential market value. If you have a 1994 Lincoln penny, you may be holding on to a piece of history that could be worth much more than its face value. But what makes this penny special, and why are some of them valued at thousands or even millions of dollars? First, let's break down the details of the 1994 Lincoln penny. Coins with no mint mark were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which, for many coins, is a common and unremarkable feature. However, certain errors and variations have led to this coin being highly sought after. These errors could include doubled dies, planchet flaws, or striking irregularities. Collectors are always on the lookout for these unique characteristics, as they can significantly increase a coin's value. One of the most desirable features that can make a 1994 Lincoln penny extremely valuable is a double die error. This occurs when the design is struck twice at slightly different angles, creating a noticeable doubling effect, particularly on the lettering or the date. If you notice any doubling on the words "Liberty" or "In God We Trust," or if the date itself shows signs of duplication, you could be looking at a rare and valuable coin. Another factor to consider is the coin's condition, also known as its grade. Coins are graded on a scale from poor to mint state, with mint state coins being in pristine condition, free from significant wear or damage. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. For example, a 1994 Lincoln penny in mint state condition, especially if it features a double die error, can command extraordinary prices at auction. So, how much is a 1994 Lincoln penny with no mint mark really worth? In general, a standard 1994 Lincoln penny without any errors and in circulated condition is usually worth only its face value. However, if your penny is in uncirculated condition and has been preserved well, it could be worth a few dollars to a collector. The real value, though, comes into play when you have a coin with an error or unique attribute. For example, 1994 pennies with striking errors or doubled dies have been known to sell for thousands of dollars at auction. In some cases, exceptionally rare coins in perfect condition can even reach prices in the millions, especially if there's significant demand from collectors. It's crucial to have your penny authenticated and graded by a reputable coin grading service, such as the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC. These organizations can confirm the authenticity of your coin and provide an official grade, which will help you determine its market value and attract serious buyers. Where can you sell a valuable 1994 Lincoln penny? You have several options, including online auction platforms like eBay or Heritage Auctions, coin dealers, and coin shows. Always do thorough research or seek expert advice to ensure you're getting the best possible price for your coin. So, if you have a 1994 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, take a close look. Check for errors, assess its condition, and consider having it graded. Who knows? You could be holding on to a hidden treasure worth a significant amount of money. 2008 The Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny. Believe it or not, some of these pennies have shocked collectors and investors with their worth soaring into the millions. So stick around as we discover what makes this coin so special and why it's worth paying close attention to. First, let's talk about the basics of this coin. The 2008 Lincoln penny was struck at the Denver Mint, and it carries the iconic image of Abraham Lincoln on the front, designed by Victor David Brenner. On the reverse side, you'll find the image of the Lincoln Memorial, a design that had been in use since 1959 to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. In 2008, the final year of this design, these pennies were widely circulated and produced in large numbers, which makes it easy to overlook their potential worth. But what is it about some of these 2008 Lincoln pennies that makes them so valuable? The answer lies in rare errors and minting anomalies. The coin collecting world is all about the details. Any tiny mistake during production can turn an ordinary coin into a treasure. In the case of the 2008 Lincoln penny, collectors are on the lookout for coins with unique errors, including double die obverse, severe die cracks, planchet errors, and off-center strikes. These rare mistakes can dramatically increase a coin's value. Another critical factor that determines a coin's worth is its condition. Coins in pristine, uncirculated condition or those graded highly by professional coin grading services can fetch incredibly high prices. The grading scale, which ranges from poor to mint state 70, plays a huge role. If you happen to own a 2008 Lincoln penny that has a mint state grade of 65 or higher, you could be looking at a significant amount of money. To give you an idea of how much these coins can be worth, let's discuss some real-world auction results. In the past, pennies with unique errors or exceptional conditions have sold for thousands, sometimes even hundreds of thousands of dollars. In rare cases, when a coin is nearly flawless or has a significant error, the market value can even climb into the millions. The key is finding a coin that stands out among the millions produced. Collectors are always hunting for coins with unique traits, so if you think you have a rare 2008 penny, it's worth getting it professionally appraised and graded. A small investment in having your coin graded could potentially lead to a massive payday. Be sure to handle your coin carefully to avoid damage that could affect its grade. Use gloves when handling your coins and store them in protective cases to preserve their condition. So how can you tell if your 2008 Lincoln penny is one of these valuable treasures? First, examine it closely under good lighting, or use a magnifying glass to spot any visible errors. Look for signs like doubling on the letters or Lincoln's features, unusual cracks, or any irregularities in the coin's surface. If you notice anything out of the ordinary, you could be holding on to a highly valuable piece. Even if your 2008 penny doesn't have a visible error, it's still worth checking its condition. A penny in near-perfect shape can still be valuable to collectors who are always looking for the best examples of coins from each year. In the world of coin collecting, even a seemingly ordinary penny can be worth an extraordinary amount of money. The 2008 Lincoln penny is a perfect example of this, and it goes to show how a simple pocket change find could change your life if you know what to look for. So, go ahead and check your collection or spare change for a 2008 penny, and see if you're sitting on a hidden fortune. 1975 No Mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny, worth a mind-blowing $1.5 million. Yes, you heard that right. And before you check your pulse and run off to break open your old piggy bank, let's get into why this coin is worth more than a mansion. Okay, so first off, what's the big deal with this 1975 penny? Well, it all comes down to rarity and a mysterious missing mint mark. You see, normally, pennies minted in Philadelphia come with a tiny P mint mark. But in the case of our 1975 penny, that sneaky little letter is nowhere to be found. And that's what makes it as rare as a unicorn at a parking garage. I'm special because I'm different. No mint mark needed, thank you very much. Yep, that's one confident little penny. Now, let me tell you a story. A few years back, I was at my grandma's house, and she handed me a giant jar of coins and said, "Here, see if there's anything valuable in there." I spent an entire afternoon, hunched over, sifting through hundreds of pennies. I didn't find any $1,000,000 coins, but I did walk away with a whole lot of back pain. Moral of the story? You never know what you might find when you look closely, but it's always worth the hunt. So, what gives the 1975 penny its jaw-dropping $1.5 million value? It's a combination of scarcity, demand, and the fact that coin collectors are willing to pay astronomical prices for the crème de la crème of coins. But here's a little secret. You're only going to find this treasure if you know what to look for. The 1975 penny should be in pristine condition, or what the pros call MS65 grade or higher. That's basically a penny that still looks like it's having a very good day. Here's a hot tip: if you do find a potential jackpot penny, handle it like a newborn kitten. No greasy fingers, And certainly no flipping it around like you're trying to decide on pizza toppings. Keep it safe, and get it professionally graded. Trust me, the last thing you want is to lose thousands, or millions, of dollars because you accidentally scratched your coin. Imagine explaining that to your family. Oh yeah, we could have been millionaires, but then I used our golden ticket penny to scratch off a lottery card. Yikes. Alright, my fellow coin crusaders, that's the scoop on the 1975 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. If you've got an old jar of coins somewhere, now is definitely the time to channel your inner Indiana Jones and go treasure hunting. And if you do strike gold, or copper, feel free to send me a postcard from your new private island. Before you dash off to inspect every penny you've ever touched, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. I've got more tips on how to turn your spare change into a fortune, plus strategies to up your coin collecting game. So don't miss out on your chance to make some serious money, just from loose change.